So I went ahead and bought H&R lowering springs for my M2 comp. As soon as I open the box, there's this orange paper right here, and it says important, read before installation. So what you're supposed to write down is your stock ride height. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. There's measurements that you're supposed to take from the wheel, from the center, like hubcap, to the fender, and then to the front of the car. Other than that, that's all it really says to do. I'm going to get hopping on that right now. These are the sport springs, and they shouldn't do anything other than lower the car 0.8 of an inch to an inch. So for some reason I feel like my car sits lower than most M2s, so I believe mine will drop almost a full inch, but never know. And then these are the bump stops that you're supposed to replace the factory ones with. So to start this, what you're going to do is take off these little pins right here up the front. You're going to pull back this rubber boot right here. We went ahead and took off the wheel already. So before we take off the top hat, what we're going to do is take off the sway bar. Just take off the bolt and then just mess with the jack underneath this, underneath your brake caliper, your rotor, and then it gets to a point where they just disconnect from each other super easy. And then now we're going to come up here. Yeah. How much?
That came out pretty quick. All the way?
Yeah. And then I'm going to set this down. When you're taking these cables off, white goes to the left and the black one goes to the right. And then now I can continue setting this down more. And you see the whole strut coming down.
Be careful with this lower one.
Pull it out.
Oh man, that's tight. You want help?
Oh, that's hairy.
Oh.
Oh, that's hairy. Okay, put the jack underneath it right here. Sit up. That's fine. That's okay.
Right there. Oh, that's good. That's your spring hole.
Damn. That's one spring. So one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna, in the instructions it says to put the H&R blocks in there. On this side I put the stock one, but I'm gonna put the H&R one back in there, just because I thought it would, the stock one or this one would have where the actual strut was uncovered to elements, but it's gonna be covered anyway. So we're putting this one in because it is an inch shorter than the stock one.
8 inches a lot.
Okay, so we moved on to the back after tightening up the front, and the back's a complete bitch.
Well, that side was. We'll see about how this side is.
Yeah. So what we've had to do is drop the exhaust, undo all the sensors, and I thought we just had to take off this one bolt right here, and the whole thing will drop down. We have to take this one off also. We've been fighting with that one for what, an hour now?
Probably.
And then just got it put back together. And now we're gonna start the other side, and hopefully this one goes a little bit better, because we know what we're doing a little bit more. But this is not easy anymore. I thought it was gonna be easy. I thought we could have got rollers in the sunset. That was hours ago. It is now dark outside.
We're
car back together. Just pulled it out, and you can already tell how much lower that is. There's no more monster truck gap. Can't see me on this side. I need to drive it up the street real quick. That way it'll get settled, and I can bring it back and do the measurements real quick. Yeah, H&R Springs. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end. If you use this as a how-to guide, congratulations. Overall, I've put about 1,000 miles on the car already. This is filmed a different day, obviously. But put 1,000 miles on the car. Springs have settled. They've dropped about an 0.8 of an inch. And then it's dropped. And then it's made Ethan so jealous that we're doing his springs Saturday. So, if you want to know how to do springs on a Supra, watch that video. Anyway guys, thank you for joining me on this adventure. See you next time.